Haunted cliffs. Ooh,
Hello,
spooky
everyone, and welcome to
electronics.
I'm Gabe, and today we'll be
No, that's
exploring
something
Route
else.
4 and having ourselves a tense battle there. But a quick recap. In the last episode, you finished
New
up on
Pokemon,
Route 3
new
and
gym leader,
battled
beat the
normal
gym
type
leader,
head
moving on.
researcher, and attained your very first access code.
Now the intro. The title just comes
heal
out
your
of nowhere.
Pokemon
It's
at
something
the
different to
Pokebeacon
see
in
an actual
Depot Town,
intro for these
and use
fake
your
mons,
access
but
code to open your
short.
very first restricted gate. The massive doors labeled with a large
you can now
number
fight
1
Elite
part
Four.
for you.
Well, that was fast.
This is Route 4. The path is very uneven now, with jagged rock
I
faces
can
rising
tell.
up around you, creating shadowy overhangs. A Pokemon researcher on this path waves you over and asks for help. Throughout the Palean region, researchers may ask you to study specific Pokemon more thoroughly. This is
like catch
similar
30
to the
Rattatas?
research tasks in Legends Arceus.
Oh.
Completing their specific requests rewards you with items and money, and completing the research tasks for any Pokemon will drastically increase their shiny odds. This researcher
Deal.
is asking you to study some of the Ghost-type Pokemon on Route 4.
I wonder if this is what it's like to
They'll
walk
probably
in
also
the
give you a
Grand
heads up,
Canyon.
since it's early in the game, not to use normal type or fighting type moves.
That's
on
okay.
Ghost
It's
Pokemon
okay
since
if
they're
they
immune.
brain
Heading
dead
down the
tell you
winding
that.
route, you spot a couple Pokemon that you've already
It's
seen.
for the kids.
Chippet and Takashuru are scurrying about, but from the shadows, a spooky visage pops out at you. Alright, this design will be based on the Lystrosaurus
Jesus.
and its particularly funny-looking face. Now,
I don't
even
know.
though it's
I
got
feel like if
Saurus
that thing
at the
turned
end of
at me,
its
I'd be
name,
like, ugh.
Lystrosaurus was not a dinosaur. It's a Therapsid. They were mammal-like reptiles from the Permian and Triassic era, and they're what eventually led to mammals. Lystrosaurs in particular were Dicynodonts.
We're mammals.
So
Wait, no, we're
herbivores
not
with big,
mammals. The
goofy
freaking
tusks
whales are
and beaks.
mammals. What am I
I
saying?
think
I'm an
they're
idiot.
pretty adorable, but in an ugly way, if that makes sense.
Kind of.
Anyway,
Look, if this thing came out and said boo, I would be scared. I think I could
In
say
fact,
that safely.
This little Pokemon will have embraced its ugly mug, and it uses it to scare away others. It's so spooky that it will be our first ghost type for the region. I'm a big fan of not all ghost Pokemon being just
Literal
straight up
ghosts.
Instead, I love it when a design incorporates spooky, elusive, or mysterious
Like
elements
Pumpkaboo?
to justify the typing, and that's what we're
Or
doing here.
Mimikyu?
It was easy to turn the head.
Yeah, I
into
guess
a
they're just gonna be like
bizarre
creepy
skull,
Pokemon, like
and some
or
patterns
like
on the
gothic
palms help
themes, it being
suggest little
ghosts.
finger bones.
Makes sense.
I went with purple, classic ghosty types. Oh, and I added some little hairs on its head. This breaks up the silhouette and also hints that Therapsids likely had whiskers and other proto-hair.
Not
Okay,
frickin' feathers.
This is Listric, the surprise Pokemon. This spooky little Pokemon enjoys
Barney
leaping
colors.
out and scaring other Pokemon and people. Listric giggles have the strange property of echoing a great deal, making it difficult to know where a Listric is hiding. Their frightening
It
behavior is a
ignores
defense
them.
mechanism,
Jeez,
and if they
I'm reading
fail
the ability.
to scare their target, they will flee, partially due to embarrassment. Its ability is Infiltrator, so that allows it to ignore the effects of Reflect,
If I can't see it,
Light
doesn't
Screen, and
exist.
Safeguard. The idea is that it's able to kind of sneak up on you and get past those defenses.
Boo!
The Listric bobs around trying to scare you off, until eventually another little round Pokemon shuffles over and nudges it
Shield
back
on.
into the shadows. Okay, primal form time. And luckily, this one is going to be very straightforward. Little Shieldon
I mean, Shieldon
doesn't
already
need
looks
much
okay.
more than a few tweaks. Now, that is not something I can say about its evolution, Bastiodon.
Yeah, Bastiodon's
When we
gonna
get
need
to
more.
it is one of the absolute ugliest Pokemon designs, in my opinion, at least. I mean, if you like Bastiodon, more power to you, but that thing is
But that
going
ain't
to get
for-
some serious reworks.
Fair enough. I mean, I
Shieldon,
totally
on the
see
other hand,
your
is such
point
a
of view.
sweet and
It's
simple
big.
design.
Needs
We're going to
work.
be shifting its typing to Mono Ground. This is primarily to help
It
balance
does
the
kind
types
of
across the
say
region,
we ran out
but
of
I'm also gonna
time
justify it
and
by
went with the
saying
first
that
draft.
This line is based on Ceratopsians who were incredibly
But yeah, like he said, if you like
grounded
Bastiodon, no
and
problems.
sturdy. Yes,
We are
very
not
good.
enemies.
Shieldon in particular is based on Protoceratops, which were wee little Ceratopsians that lacked the iconic horns.
Oh.
We made some minor tweaks to the design.
That's right, Ceratops is
kept
always
the
my favorite
overall
dinosaur,
silhouette the
so...
same. It was
Good
mainly
seems they're
about
related
getting
to
some
it.
ground type markings, which I imagine
It's
are
got
from
Sandile
this
colors.
little guy taking dirt baths all the time.
Ah, that's cute.
Alrighty, this is Primal Shieldon.
It's
The
got the
shield
original
Pokemon.
colors as it's shiny. I like that. I
This
like when he does
defensive
that.
Pokemon uses its large head to block incoming attacks. Primal Shieldon enjoy wallowing in dirt and sand dunes. These dust bats keep their skin healthy as they
I bet he
absorb
made
the
this
minerals.
entire region just to fix
Trainers
the
are
fossil
advised to wear knee
Pokemon.
pads, as Primal Shieldon show affection by gently headbutting people.
My freaking
Its ability
shin!
is Sand Veil. That boosts a Pokemon evasion in sandstorms and also makes them immune to sandstorm damage.
Mm.
Shieldon
Wait, but
smiles
was
up
it
at
already
you
immune?
before
Yeah,
finding
whatever.
a puddle
Double
of mud
immune.
to wallow in. Nearing the end of the craggy path, you spot a small stone topple off an outcropping above you. The stone hits the ground, flops over, and looks at you. This isn't a stone at all. In fact, this is our next design. Ooh, that transition was smooth. Paleontologists have discovered some really amazing dinosaur egg, embryo, and baby dinosaur fossils.
Ooh.
And I mean, it's really astounding.
That's
when
dark.
you think about
The
how
embryo was
delicate
in
the
the egg
bones
and the
are
bones
and
are like that.
particular conditions required to preserve them. So that's going to be our primary inspiration. But that's not all. In homage to all the baby dinosaurs who died and became those fossils, we're also using the idea of broken eggs, so shattered shells, embryos, egg yolks,
Kind of like manga
and the general
not manga
goofiness.
just Ryu-Ran.
In fact, all that sad stuff is
What kind of
going to
manga
give
we
us
ran, too?
our typing too. This will be our second
Barney
ghost
colors
type
again.
for the Palean region. Instead of being literal egg goo, it's a wiggly mass of ectoplasm.
Makes me a little sad though, just
We're
to
giving
think
it
where
some
the origin
egg
comes
yolk
from.
like blobs inside it that also hint at a developing body, spine, and brain. Colors were fun to play with, and I love how it almost has a lava lamp look to it.
It does though.
Here is Ectrio, the embryo Pokemon.
Oh, the colors are
This
reversed in the
spectral
shiny.
Pokemon
Nice.
is made up of ectoplasmic gas. Ectrio use discarded eggshells for protection and to
Got
keep
their
their
Togepi
goop
in there.
bodies
Or Voltobot.
contained.
Actually, a number
Though
of
they are
Pokemon
ghost
that have
types,
these shells.
Ectrio
Not a
are
lot,
not
but, you know,
shy,
a number.
and instead
Bigger
will
than
waddle
one.
up to people seeking attention.
If I had a
They're
nickel,
easily trained
universe.
as they always aim to please. Its ability is Clear Body, I mean, since they're kind of transparent, and that prevents other Pokemon from lowering its stats. I really love how this ghost Pokemon turns out.
He's
It's
flailing all
pretty
over the
nebulous
place.
design, but I'm sure you
Whee!
can guess from the reference photos that it'll be getting much bigger when it evolves.
I believe
Curious
you.
if you can predict how this design will advance.
Will it
Do
be
you have
bigger than
any
Aurorus?
Put them down in the comments below, and I'll let you know if you're on the right track. Continuing on.
What's
you
the
see
biggest
the end of
Pokemon
Route
event?
4
That
and
legendary of
buildings
Gen 8?
beyond a large
It's larger than
maze.
that.
But your friend Grant is waiting there with his starter Pokemon.
Oh hey,
Oh, hey.
you made it. I was worried I was getting too far ahead of you. I knew that normal type challenge would be no match for you either. But I want to know exactly how great we are now.
Rival battle.
Most of my Pokemon are pretty tired from this route, but you know what? Battle me.
Oh, so they're gonna go in
Grant
with a weak.
leads with his starter. It's
Going a little
quite
weak.
a high level now, but to your surprise, it isn't at full health. It seems that the route really was tough on him.
Huh, interesting
Also,
gimmick.
your starter still has the advantage, so you're really not worried. After that, he brings out an Eevee that he must have also picked up in Solure City. You're able to beat him no problem.
Turn us out to
Dang.
larger Pokemon
If
than
I'd
Eevee.
had all my Pokemon healed up, I bet that would have gone differently.
Maybe?
Anyway, there's supposed to be another
If there's a
type
hard
researcher
mode
ahead.
for this, he's
Let's
at
get
full
another
health.
access going.
Grant runs ahead to Camp Niffer. You've got some real battles under your belt now and are feeling pretty confident.
I can
But
see why.
I've got a feeling that battles may become more complicated in the future, In fact, the Palian region should probably have its own unique battle gimmick.
Oh boy.
Like the Mega Evolutions, Z-Moves, and Dynamaxes found elsewhere. Nothing is set in stone right now, so if you have any thoughts...
It's still crazy to me that freaking Mega Evolutions are coming back.
We'll be talking about our
I thought that was a dead gimmick, but no, they're coming back apparently.
Anyway, you go to follow Grant, but of course, that will have to wait for the next episode.
Alright, well, a lot of cool new ghost Pokemon with cool inspiration. They're all really cool to see.
As always, I would love to hear your thoughts
love
on
all
today's
of
episode
these.
down in the comments
There's
below.
so many cool Pokemon in this.
In the Battle Gimmick episode coming up next.
I like the Showdown
Bye.
redesign too, yeah. He did need a bit of an update, Master. No, he's just gonna be like, okay, so from square one, it's now a 3-stage evolution. One for each horn. Yeah, it's a little dark and depressing to think that where the embryo comes from, and just like, damn. But, imagine the egg hatches, though. It's like, imagine they aren't dead. It's like, oh god, that's actually scarier. We could have had dinosaurs. Well, there, and we also could have had dinosaurs. Yeah, it's a mixed bag. But yeah, that's a cool episode with cool stuff and cool new spooky Pokemon. And we got to fight the rivals, so nice. Let's go to point 5. And here we are in the point 5. 6.5, that is.
Hello,
you choose
everyone,
the
and
battle
welcome
gimmick.
to another bonus episode. I'm Gabe.
What if
and
I
today
can't
you
choose, though?
will be deciding what the battle gimmick is for the Palian region.
What, like on a poll
I
or
got
something?
a lot of really amazing suggestions in the last video, and I legitimately could not decide. So, I picked the most exciting ideas and refined them down into 3 concepts that I think could work well.
Okay.
The first is the most requested.
Mega Evolutions.
The second fits the region's themes the best, and the third is just a little wacky and out there.
That's alright.
At the end of the video, I'm going to ask you to leave a comment with your preference, and we'll be deciding on the
It's
gimmick
far
of the
too late
region
to vote,
based on
let's
the
be real
response.
here.
But let's not waste any more time and jump into it. Option 1. I had a lot of interest in bringing Mega Evolution back, or
Of course.
introducing an evolution mechanic which essentially functions the same as Mega Evolution. I also had some suggestions for
background stuff
super
like that.
attacks that felt akin to Z moves. So what
That
if
little
we
guy
were
is
able to bring
gigantic,
back
Max is
all
adorable.
of the goodies from past generations?
All in one?
Now, I'm not as knowledgeable about Pokemon lore as someone like, say, a Birdkeeper Toby, but,
Or a J-Witz
from what
or
I
something
understand,
like that.
the 3 previous battle mechanics, Mega Evolution, Z moves, and Dynamax, are tied to the mysterious
You can see your little human in the
infinity
bottom
energy
corner.
in the Pokemon world. So what we're going to do is to claim that in our prehistoric region, infinity energy is present in a more pure form here, allowing trainers and their Pokemon to harness it and use it as they wish. So once per battle, you would be able to select a little infinity bond icon, wherein you could choose to either Mega Evolve a Pokemon, Dynamax a Pokemon for 3 turns, or execute a Z move.
That'd be cool.
You'd still need to have, the correct Mega Stone or Z Crystal, but it would work essentially the same as it has in past games.
Neat.
And, alright, though we don't know exactly what it is at the moment, this would also include the sparkly new gimmick from Scarlet and Violet. For me, this is probably the least exciting since we're just rehashing old ideas.
Not to mention, it's
some
all
which
of
I'm
them
not
in
the biggest
one.
fan of. I'm looking at you, Z moves, and I also can't
I'm
guarantee
okay with
that I'll
Z moves,
have the time
in my
to do a
personal
bunch
opinion,
of new
but
Megas or
I
Dynamax
get the
forms.
dislike.
Oh,
Oh,
and
poop!
If you're curious
I
why the
saw
art
that.
for this is a Dynamax Cactimon, well, I wanted to do a Mega for it, but right this second we only have one fully evolved design.
Hey, it's adorable
in our
like
region,
that.
and that's
Yep.
Takashuru, who probably wouldn't get a Mega anyway. So I hope you like the
Not to
adorable
mention,
Zoom that is
it would be
Dynamax
spoilers.
Cactimon. It
for the final
will
form.
smush you with its cuteness.
Just going back.
Now,
It's
before
cute.
I go
I like
into
it.
our second option, I want to give an honorable mention to a suggestion where Pokemon could use up their
Extinction
HP
attacks.
to deliver a devastating attack. It's a great idea, but I wasn't sure how much it would change how battling worked.
It is a very
kind of
anime
like
thing.
another underdeveloped
It's like a Final
gimmick.
Flash
Looking
sort
at
of
you
way.
again, Z moves.
What are you talking about?
I still
Underdeveloped?
love the concept
Eh.
enough that we're
Personal
going to
opinion,
say that there's
personal
a
opinion.
new move available in our region called Extinction Event. It's a ghost type attack that drains the user's HP fully, and unlike self-destruct, this deals damage proportional to how much HP you're losing.
Dang.
And just because I would want it to have some
I can't
usage,
think of it.
it would be a TM that basically every Pokemon could use. Alright, time for option 2. I had someone suggest
It'd be a
giving
cool idea.
Mega Evolutions to every Pokemon with the justification
Every
that they are
single
prehistoric and more closely tied to evolution. I love that reasoning, but I could not see myself
That's
making
too
a Mega
much.
for every single Pokemon. But what I found
It's
interesting
way
is
too
making
much.
sure that every Pokemon can
It's a cool
utilize
idea,
the
though.
mechanic effectively. This is one of the few things that Dynamax and Z moves do better than Mega Evolution.
Yeah.
Since Mega Evolution is only available to a small pool of Pokemon, it ends up kind of limiting which Pokemon are viable. So, what can we do about that? I'm calling this mechanic the Primal Surge. Once per battle, you can choose a Pokemon who is holding a Primal
You
Crystal
ordered right to the starters,
key item.
alright.
And that causes a massive amount of primal infinity energy to flow into them. They would remain like this for the remainder of the battle, like a Mega Evolution, but their overall design would not change. This
Alright.
is to be nice to our imaginary game developers working on this concept. The Pokemon instead would get a flaring aura, their outline would flicker and jitter wildly, and they would
Alright.
take on a more feral pose.
Okay.
Mechanically,
I think
they get
that's
a
fair.
pretty
I think
impressive
that's
stat
okay.
boost.
Nothing wrong
Their
there.
stats stay proportionally the same, so if it has high attack or defense, then it will still have high attack or defense. But
Oh,
the
jeez.
overall total will increase to 600. So you're
I
basically
didn't think it would be
taking
like
any
that.
Pokemon, foregoing their held item to give them this primal crystal, and then turning them into essentially a pseudo-legendary. On the whole, the Primal Surge Pokemon are a hair less powerful than Megas,
I think that's the
but their
thumbnail.
versatility makes for a really
The
exciting
original
mechanic.
thumbnail, anyway.
Also, I mean, just look at little Fleetweed going full Super Saiyan.
He's straight up a
ready to
Super
absolutely
Saiyan.
Obliterate its opponent. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I
Okay.
wouldn't guess that was
Before
Fleetweed.
we
I thought
get
it was
on to
some
the
new
last
Pokemon.
mechanic, there's another honorable mention. This idea was that you would be able to splice two battling Pokemon together to create a hybrid. This ties so well to the Jurassic series, but I struggled to find a way to implement it that didn't involve...
Wasn't that the
either
fossil
having a
Pokemon
unique
of
hybrid
Gen,
for
what was it,
every
8,
Pokemon
basically?
combination, or severely limiting
With
what
the, like-
Pokemon could fuse together. That being said, I love the idea of a hybrid so much that we're going to be adding it to the lore. Way
There's hybrid
farther
Pokemon?
down the road, we'll run into some legendaries for the region,
Oh god.
but as of now, there is no man-made legendary.
Yet.
I've got some details to figure out, but I think our region needs a fun side quest where you can create and battle a
If you need-
beastly hybrid. So
The hybrid
keep an eye out for
Pokemon,
that
that's
in
the
future.
freaking... what was
Time
it?
for the final
The Bone
battle game.
Wars. There's a great
The last
episode
suggestion that really
explaining
caught
it
my
from
eye was
Lux and
having
Noggin that I
Pokemon
highly
perform
recommend. It's a
team
great
moves.
video.
Conceptually, really
Team
fun.
moves.
But I had to figure out how it would be viable outside
Like,
of
you
double
mean like
battles.
in Mystery Dungeon?
The ramifications of this one are pretty fun, and there's a lot to play with, so hear me out. We're going to justify this mechanic by saying that our prehistoric Pokemon are always adapting and creating new moves just to survive.
Okay.
Because of this, they can perform what I'm calling an adaption attack. At any time, you can choose to hit the little, adapt button and pick one of your attacks. Your Pokemon will not attack, but instead hunker down, taking half damage for the turn, and channel the chosen move's typing into their body.
Like a solar chart.
The next
Solar
time they
beam
choose
in
the
a
little
sec.
adapt button,
Something like that.
they'll pick another move. The two typings combine into a new combo move.
Interesting.
So, in the case of this drawing, little Sailil adapted a water type and a dragon type move to pull off a new powerful attack. But it could be electric and psychic, or ghost and ice, or any combination of types. What the attacks would look like and be called would be a pretty fun design challenge on its own.
Right?
The resulting attack would operate
It's kinda
like
like a Z
flying
move in a
press,
way.
where it's going to do
Sort of.
damage to the opponent with whichever type would do more damage. And like Dynamax, the base damage dealt is dependent on the power of the move selected. And of course, if you're in a double battle, you can do this in the same turn by having your two Pokemon complete the attack together. I think the mechanic would lead to some really interesting strategies.
I can see that totally
if,
being an
when a
anime thing.
Pokemon
I think that's what they
chose to
were in
adapt
like
a
Gen
move,
4
it did not
contest
announce
battles.
what move was chosen.
Ice Aqua Jet, anyone?
Sailil hunkered down and adapted a move, but you
Dragon
wouldn't know
Whirl.
if the upcoming move was going to be part water
Dragonic
type,
Torrent,
part
that's
dark,
cool.
ghost, or who knows.
I like the
And there you
adaptation
have it.
attacks. The
Those are
Primal
the three
Surge
options
thing
for our
is
new battle
nice. I like the Super
We've got
Saiyan armor. I like the
Infinity
stuff.
Bond, where your Pokemon
Infinity
are able
Bond
to
is like, been
harness
there, done that, but
primal
still
infinity
cute.
energy
I wouldn't
and
be mad
execute
at that one.
any
I
of the
think it's just
prior
damn.
battle gimmicks. Primal Surge, where that primal
This is
infinity
cool. Like,
energy
it's
of
not
the
my
region
favorite, but if it
flows into your
wins,
Pokemon,
okay, I
causing
get
to
it.
go
That's fine.
Super Saiyan and increase its
I like
power
it, I
to
like
the
it.
level of a pseudo legendary.
But I really like the
Adaptation
adaptation attack. That's
that
brand
lets
new
you create
stuff.
all of the various move
That's
combinations
mostly
that
original
come with the
content.
18
I
Pokemon
would
types.
like that. I don't know if I could use
Now
because you
is the
gotta
moment
wait
of
to
truth.
release it, but
Let me
it's
know
basically a
down in the
one-hit KO,
comments
then
below
so be it.
which of these battle mechanics you want in the Palean region.
I
I'll
personally
announce
favor
the
adaptation
selection in a
attacks.
future
That's
video.
me. If what
With
do
that,
you
I
prefer?
just wanted
Say
to
in the
thank you all
comments.
so much for watching, and please leave a like if you enjoyed these concepts.
And
actually, if you're not, go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss out on the decision for the region's battle mechanic.
I guess we'll find out what
I'm
the
looking
gimmick's
forward to
going to be in
hearing
the next
all your thoughts on
episode, or
today's
next time we run
episode
into a
down in the
gym.
comments below, and I'll see you in episode
So
7.
yeah, new Pokemon, new gimmicks, possibly. I wonder which one will win. I probably give the Primal one because people love their power-ups, but I hope the adaptation attack wins. But it'll probably be Infinity Bonds because I want what I already have. Damn it. Whatever. That's fine, I guess. So yeah, cool new Pokemon, some new gimmicks, and some really cool stuff overall. Nice. I hope it doesn't give all its Pokemon Mega Evolutions. That would be cool. Oh god, it would be a nightmare to animate. I would not want to be that person. But yeah, so I might have some ideas of what a Mega Evolution could look like for some Pokemon, but it's like, I don't want to do all of them. Fuck that. Alright, I got nothing else to say really, so I'll let y'all go. So, good episodes, great stuff to check out. I'll see you all later. Bye.